OneCry it's a clarion call for revival and spiritual awakening. It's a call to turn. It's a call to pray. It's a call to unite as believers, believing Him for an outpouring of His Spirit in our day, in our generation. We aim to inspire, to resource, and to mobilize God's people to passionately seek Him for revival and spiritual awakening. So why does the church need revival? It's not because things are so bad, they are bad, but it's because of what it could be. It's because things could be so good, because there's really no hope, and I think you know this, apart from revival, but there's no hope like revival. OneCry began in my heart. It began in my heart when I was in Acts chapter 2, and I realized that God was really looking not so much for the principles in that passage, but the people in that passage. There were those in the upper room, intercessors, if you will. There were those who went and told the mighty acts of God that had taken place. They were the voices out there. And then there were the leaders like Peter that stood up and just brought clarity and community and context to what God was doing. So OneCry was birthed with the whole idea that there would be those who would pray, those who would proclaim the hope of revival, and then leaders who would partner with their organizations and unite and believe God together for another outpouring of His Spirit. Really, the hope that God gave me at that moment was that I would just trust Him for 50,000 intercessors that were active, identifiable. They were engaged in crying out to God in prayer, and 5,000 voices, maybe pastors or lay people, marketplace people, who would go and tell the stories of what God could do historically and how God is moving today. And then also 500 organizations, leaders of organizations and ministries that would say, hey, I'll do more than just tell the stories and pray. I will engage, I will pursue, I will begin to call others together to mobilize them to seek God for revival. So I began to realize I wasn't alone in that vision, that God was raising up people all across this nation and world really to trust Him for the same thing. God has given us an army of believers who are proactively seeking Him for revival. So you, like others, may be asking the question, what should I do? What can I do? I want to encourage you to begin in your own heart. Begin in a circle that you step in and say, God, send revival to my life. And you can do that by taking the 7-day personal revival journey right here on our website. I just really believe God wants to use you, that He has a plan to use you and the movement of revival today.